Hello, people. How's it going? Well, I'm trying to do at least one a week, so I'm proud of myself. I think I did one last week. I don't remember. I probably did. I'm continuing my series on reviewing movies. You know, present ones, past ones. I'll eventually get to other movies other than Christian ones, religious ones. I'm just consider these kind of practice, so I get an idea. I've never done a movie review, so this one's On the Robe, which, by the way, that's the book. The book is good. I recommend the book. Of course I do. The book is very good. Of course, it's not as good as the movie, but I'll get to the movie in a moment. It's very good. It's pretty thick. They deviate a lot from the movie. I mean, from the book and the movie. It's basically the premise is the same. The premise of the story isn't any different. But there's a lot more characters, of course, in this one. There's a lot more interesting side characters, minor characters, more interesting stuff, people. I mean, I wish the movie had put certain characters in the movie from the book, because I think it would have made it more interesting. It would have made it more longer. But but anyway, this is the book. You should read the book. Yes, he is a Catholic. I know it's a Catholic who wrote the book and such, but even the Catholic Church wasn't too happy with him because I'm not going to get into that part, but a little bit about the author. Lloyd C. Douglas was born August 27th, 1877, died February 13th, 1951. He didn't write his first book until he was over 50, and that was The Magnificent Obsession. I haven't written that one. So yeah, I've written, I think, The Big Fisherman of his other novel about Simon Peter. I read this book in Florida. But anyway. But I think it's worth reading. As a book, it's worth reading. As a biblical novel, it's worth reading. It is the story of the Roman soldier who won the robe of Christ in his crucifixion. It's the story of what happens to him after it. I wish they had stuck a little bit more to the book, because they changed a lot of Marcellus's character, a lot of Demetrius's character. Diana's about the same. I'll tell you who these people are eventually. Calm down. But I wish they had kept a lot to the book. I think it would have made a far better movie. The movie's good, don't get me wrong. I like the movie. It's one of the few biblically epic movies I actually like. And I actually don't have a whole lot of real problems with, because it's an adaptation of that book. And they took bits and pieces. They kept the original idea. I mean, as long as they stuck to the original idea and they didn't change that very much. I mean, we have, let's see. The movie was made in 1953, starring Richard Burton as Marcellus. He does a pretty good job. He's not really, I forget what the guy's name was. He was in Ben-Hur. Not Peter Boyle. Peter Boyle plays young Frankenstein. I forgot his name. It drives me crazy. But anyway, the guy who played I'm getting old. I'm almost 59 years old. 59. Anyway. But anyway. It's going to drive me crazy. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to ponder what that guy's name is, and it's going to drive me crazy because I know I should know this. He was in the fall of the Roman Empire, Ben-Hur. It's going to, anyway. He would have made a better Marcellus than Richard Burton. But Richard Burton plays him differently in the book, from the book. So Richard Burton kind of works only because he's more of a different character than the book. A lot that you can tell. If you read the book and watch the movie, he's a different Marcellus. He does a good job. And that name is going to drive me crazy. I'm sorry, people. I got to look this up. It's going to drive me nuts. I'm sorry. So shoot me. I know it's going to annoy me when I see his name. It usually does. Stephen Boyd. Anyway, Stephen Boyd. I kept wanting to say Peter Peter Boyle, and that's why I didn't write his name. Stephen Boyd. Stephen Boyd plays. He would have made a better Marcellus, but Richard Burton is fine. He does a good job. My problem is I wish they would stick more to the book when it comes to the actual characters' motivations, when it comes to their actual character in the book, so on and so forth. But that's okay. That's neither here nor there. That's just a personal opinion. Jean Simmons, who I will always love and adore, plays Diana. I like her. I always like her. She does a very good job. Her Diana from the book and the movie are pretty much about the same. Excellent. Very good. I have no qualms of either or. I don't think anybody else could have done the role very well or just as well. She's Jean Simmons. She works. It works. She was good in Spartacus. She was good in Robin and Marion with Sean Connery later in her career. But anyway. Then we had Jay Robinson as Caligula, who hated being called that. His name was Gaius, not Caligula. Caligula was his nickname. But Jay Robinson, who later in life became a Christian, supposedly. But he does a pretty good Caligula. He's not in the movie enough for me to make any points about the actual Caligula and him. He plays Manic fine. He plays a crazy emperor just fine. But Caligula was a kid. Literally. I mean, he was in his early 20s. But Jay Robinson doesn't look like he's in his 20s. I'm sorry, he doesn't. He looks like he's in his early 30s, maybe late 20s. He does a good job. Don't get me wrong. He does a good job. I like it. His Caligula is like the Caligula in the book. They don't really change it that a whole much. You see that? Yeah, let's see. Victor Mature is Demetrius. They changed him a lot from the book. Basically, they're two different people. I mean, Demetrius in the book has been a slave, I think, his whole life, if I remember the book correctly. I have to reread it again. If I remember correctly, he's always been there. He wasn't bought like he's bought in the movie. They're more friends more in the book than they are in the movie. Whereas in the movie, at the end, they're friends. Victor Mature is one of those actors that I'm not sure ever looks like he really wants to be in the movie in the first place. And I like the guy. He was good in, Gunfight at OK Corral. He was good in Samson and Delilah. But Victor, he always comes across to me as if I'm not sure why I'm here. I'm not sure I want to be here. But his character is completely rewritten from the book. It's good. He does a good job because he's playing a different character. He's just not playing the one from the book. Sort of like Marcellus, like Richard Burton's character, is not really playing the one strictly from the book. The Demetrius character in the movie is not the Demetrius character in the book. It's the only way to put it. Other than by name, there really isn't anything familiar from the book. You can see bits and pieces of the Richard Burton character from the book, Gene Simmons from the book, Jay Robinson's Caligula from the book, but not Demetrius's, not Victor Mature's. But he does a good job. I don't mind it. The movie is not bad, people. The movie is actually good. It just doesn't follow the book enough for me, and that's always going to be one of those pet peeves I have about movies into books and books into movies. Is I want them to stick to the book. I don't mind a few deviations here and there, but it's just me though. Anyway, Michael Rennie plays the Apostle Peter. Of course, the day the earth stood still. He does a good job. He's not really in the movie a whole lot. He's more in the sequel to The Robe, Demetrius and the Gladiators, which I think I've seen once. They kill off Caligula the way he wasn't killed off. I don't think it's a very good movie. I don't think it's a good sequel to The Robe. We didn't need a sequel to The Robe. Just like we don't need a lot of sequels to movies we seem to get. But it's Michael Rennie. He's a good actor. He always has been. He plays a good Simon Peter. I can't remember when this movie was made. This movie was in the 1950s. Biblical epics were popular. They all had that Catholic tint to them. A lot of them did. Because they were written by Catholic authors. Lloyd was a Catholic. I think he was a reverend. Reverend or a priest. I think. I didn't really look that hard, and I should have. He didn't start writing until he was in his 50s. I mean, he really didn't start doing this until his 50s. But I've always liked the movie. I've always liked the book. The movie was up for, I wrote it down, 6 Academy Awards. Best Picture, Best Actor, Richard Burton. Best Cinematography, someone just came home. It won for Best Art Direction, and it won for Best Costume Design. I'm going to end this in a few minutes because I don't want to go too long. As movies go, it's a good movie. It's worth watching. It's worth seeing. Nothing wrong with it. No real criticisms. I mean, my criticisms are only how they rewrote it for the screen and not the actual movie or the actual book. So I think the book is pretty good. I like the book. I like the movie. I wish we were kind of closer to the book, but that's just me. It's worth seeing, worth watching. The book certainly is. So I'm going to end this review for today. I'm trying to keep the reviews to 10 minutes. They don't need to be longer than that unless it's really important. But, well, people, behave yourselves. You know I'm not going to. I will see you later. Later.